What?
Oh, sorry.
We were having an offline
She
conversation.
said it on the microphone.
I just said more on that later.
I don't know more on what later. Unsportsmanlike is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Insurance offers 24/7 protection when you bundle home, auto, and motorcycle. Learn more at progressive.com.
I'm just talking a little nutrition, that's all.
Okay.
It's a big week for me, race
There
week.
we go.
So.
Race week. Let's
Race week.
go.
Let's go.
Race week, Halloween.
Let's go.
We have a big week ahead.
Yeah.
Smalls has a big Friday. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, but man, oh man, a big Friday.
You can say it.
We'll save it.
Okay,
We'll
save it.
Yeah,
We'll save it. It's awesome. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah, I'm
All
very
right, let's
excited.
start. Green Bay beats Pittsburgh last night, 35-25. Smalls, your team won line.
In Goody, we trust.
Nice. I like that one. Kraft gives Cheesehead let me try that again. Kraft gives Cheesehead's last laugh over Rodgers.
I can't believe what was said before the season may be right during the season. Pittsburgh may finish with a losing record. Wild to think. Miami and Atlanta. Marino, 3 touchdowns in the 34-10 victory over the Falcons. What? As Chris Berman says, Smalls?
Seems like Tua should continue to do his talking on the field.
Falcons spin the block with their ex, and they realize the idea of Cousins is better than the reality of him.
A collaborative loss for Atlanta that could cost people jobs. New York.
You got to let that go.
Never. New York Jets and Cincinnati Bengals. The Jets get their first win of the season, 39-38 over the Bengals.
Anything is possible. The Jets won a game.
This one's for Nick. 500 total yards and 39 points by the Jets offense.
I'm not going to go after that because that was good, and let's just leave it at that. Nick Mangold's horrific, tragic passing yesterday. All-time iconic Jet, all-time iconic guy, gone
Ring
way
of
too
Honor,
soon.
Future Hall of Famer.
Yes.
Gone way too soon
Horrific.
yesterday. No easy way of transitioning off of that, obviously. He is from the state of Ohio, and
45 miles away from Cincinnati Stadium.
Yeah. Cleveland and New England, 32-13. Pats beat the Browns.
Are Drake May and the Patriots the sneakiest, dangerous team in the NFL?
If ever there were a time when someone second-guessed signing a contract for $40 million a year, it might be now for Myles Garrett.
As a Patriots fan, I'm going to treat them like the Patriots. I'm not happy with the first half. Oh, yeah, I'm back, baby. I'm not happy with the first. It was a crappy first half for New England. That's the way the Patriots rock. Oh, I cannot believe I'm back. All right, the Eagles beat the Giants in a rematch from a couple of weeks ago where we were at the game and the Giants won. Philly wins 38-20.
Saquon, so good to see you.
Blown call on a tush push adds insult to injury for Big Blue.
Jackson Dart's going to have a rough rest of the way if no star wide receiver and no star running back. Not exactly fair to the young star quarterback. Buffalo and Carolina. The Bills do what the Bills should do against Andy Dalton, who's still in the league, and the Panthers 40-9 Buffalo over Carolina.
Bank on the bye. Josh Allen improves to 8-0 after the bye week as the Bills crush the Panthers.
Bills offense cooked down in Carolina, scoring on 7 of their first 8 possessions.
Buffalo did what they're supposed to do, but they need more help on the offensive side of the ball. Chicago and Baltimore. You cannot lose this game. The Bears lost the game. Baltimore wins 30-16.
No Lamar, no problem. The Ravens finally give us a glimmer of hope.
Can the Ravens really rally in the North with a banged-up Lamar Jackson? Really?
I feel justified in always hyping Snoop Huntley. He got a win yesterday, my guy, Snoop Huntley. Let's go. Awful loss by the Bears. We will get to that. San Francisco and Houston, 26-15. The Texans over the 49ers.
This is the C.J. Stroud and Houston Texans team we expected to see this year.
C.J. Stroud and Mac Jones, they are who we thought they were.
Thank you for saying that. Brock Purdy is needed and wanted in San Francisco. Tampa Bay and New Orleans, the Bucs win 23-3 over the Saints.
The Bucs bounce back. The Saints seem to be everyone's get-right game.
Blown call takes away second defensive touchdown for the Bucs, but that doesn't stop the rout in the Superdome.
Spencer Rattler out, Tyler Shuck in, number 1 pick in the draft, Saints quarterback. And Tennessee and Indy, 38-14. The Colts beat the Titans.
The Colts really are that good, and the Titans really are that bad.
Jonathan Taylor, better chance of winning MVP this year than Saquon had last year.
Ooh.
I was going there too. Do the Colts have the MVP on their roster? And if so, who is it? Their quarterback or their running back? And finally, the Denver Broncos beat up on the Dallas Cowboys 44-24. Smalls.
A tale of two Pats. The Broncos lose Pat Surtain, but they get a big performance from Pat Bryant to get the win over Dallas.
Broncos bully boys in trenches on the way to their 5th straight win.
Jerry Jones is surprised the defense is not playing well? he's got to find the guy who traded their best player right before the season. Once he finds that guy, maybe it'll improve. All right, let's talk about that. So the Broncos beat up on the Cowboys yesterday. The Broncos are 6-2 on the season. Bo Nix, 19 of 29, 247, 4 touchdowns and an interception. And they have played tremendous football as of late. Best defense in the league, arguably. But the Dallas Cowboys, maybe the worst defense in the league. And Jerry Jones, the owner of the team / general manager of the team, had this to say about the Cowboys defense after allowing 44 points.
I see the same thing you see. It should be depressing to have those numbers of 10 plays or more, as many of them as we had there early in the ball game. But I don't see lack of effort out there. I see guys that could be sure, more firm in their execution. And I just saw some guys out there that give their offensive line credit and their blockers credit. They did a good job on our defensive players in a lot of cases.
So your biggest takeaway from that game yesterday, how good the Broncos are and maybe Super Bowl good, or how the Cowboys need to be sellers or buyers at the trade deadline, but they need to be active around the trade deadline? Biggest takeaway.
Well, the Denver Broncos defense is obviously legit. They're awesome. If you can get Bo Nix to consistently perform, this is a team that can still challenge in the AFC West and potentially challenge for a Super Bowl. We had a lot of expectations for them heading into the season, and obviously, consistency is key, but they've got a lot of pieces in place to really go on a run. Now, conversely, that Cowboys defense is what we thought it was, too. It's the 5th game allowing 40 or more points since the start of last season, tied with the Panthers for the most in the NFL. They're allowing 31.3 points per game this season, and I don't see that improving anytime soon, guys.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to get better anytime soon either. As great as Dak plays, the Dallas Cowboys defense is so bad, you make the opposing quarterback better. And that has been the issue. Now, yesterday, the Cowboys ran into a formidable defense. I thought that stop on the goal line that they had early on was huge for the Denver Broncos defense in terms of being able to set the tone. But when you give up 16 plays of 10 or more yards, 7 plays of 20 or more yards, it's going to be hard to win, especially on the road. We had Jeff Saturday on his show a couple of weeks ago, and he dropped a little nugget. More important than winning the turnover battle is winning the explosive play battle. And while I don't necessarily fully agree with that, there is something to be said for that in today's NFL. And you see that week over week with the Dallas Cowboys defense allowing the opposing offense to throw the ball over their head. Bo Nix yesterday was absolutely phenomenal. But I still don't have a read on just how good Bo Nix is because of how bad the Dallas Cowboys defense is.
So what would you do if you're them? Trade deadline is a week from tomorrow. Jerry Jones is now with 2 first-rounders each of the next 2 years in his back pocket. But the record is 3-4-1. If Chris Canty ran the team he used to play for, the Dallas Cowboys, what would you do? And by the way, nothing is an option too, right? Like you could just sit there and say, that's cool. I have 2 first-rounders each in the next 2 years. I'm not using them. I'm also not selling off pieces. You mentioned George Pickens, the kind of wide receiver that the Steelers would dream of right now. Correct me if I'm wrong. He's not signed long-term. That means you could theoretically trade him before you sign him long-term.
Here's the thing. I'm not folding the season and trading pieces away, right?
Okay.
Because I'm 2.5 games behind the division leader with 9 games to go. There's a ton of runway. So it doesn't make sense for the Dallas Cowboys to fold their hand. I think it becomes an interesting proposition in terms of what Jerry Jones does and how he proceeds. But if you look at the upcoming opponent, they've got the Arizona Cardinals at home. That's a game that they should win. So if you go into the bye week 4-4-1, I could see the Dallas Cowboys adding to this roster because there's an opportunity there. And we keep talking about the flux of that division. 2 decades, never had a repeat champion. The Philadelphia Eagles, even though they were dominant yesterday against my New York Giants, they still have huge question marks, particularly with their wide receiver, A.J. Brown. So I'm not going to say that the door is wide open, but it's cracked.
Yeah.
And I think the Dallas Cowboys would be best served by trying to push the envelope and see how much they can get out of this group of guys by adding at the trade deadline.
I could not agree more. They have an opportunity here. And again, looking at the division, obviously the Giants were a tough out, but they're incredibly banged up. They lost Cam Scatterbo, obviously.
Oh my God, that is
Malik
a
Neighbors.
brutal injury.
That was very tough to watch.
Yeah.
And he obviously provided so much energy and such a spark to that offense and to that team as a whole. But the Giants are all of a sudden pretty banged up. The Commanders have been inconsistent because of injuries. The Eagles, while they seemingly have gotten back on track, you're right, A.J. Brown didn't play yesterday. You're wondering what's going to happen there. If I'm the Dallas Cowboys, I definitely want to add at the deadline. I want to go for it, and I want to add to that defense in some way.
Coming up, what can Brown do for you? Nothing, and that may be a good thing after Cece has this from 5 Hour Energy.